What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning into this episode of Twin Finance. I am Jackson. Today we're going to talk about real rates of returns on investments. I know many of you may think, you just sign into your brokerage account. Oh, it says my portfolio got 20% last year. I got 20% last year. No ifs, ands, or buts. Forget about it. I got 20%. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case. So I'm going to run over just a quick example and explain to you what the factors that you need to tie in before you know your real rate of return on your investments. So let's say you have $100,000. Let's say you got a 10% return. 10% return. So now your current portfolio value is $110,000. So this $110,000 is a 10% rate. But let's say inflation in your nation, that's the first factor you have to tie in when you're calculating real rates of return on investments. Because each year, dollar gets diluted, there's more money in the market, there's going to be inflation. So that means that your spending power of that $100,000 went down. So obviously it's going to be in a percentage, and in given nations like Canada, United States, and stronger economies, healthier economies that are more structured, been around for a longer period, they're not going to have hyperinflation of 20% one year. It's more so just 2 to 3% range. So for this video, we'll stick to 3%. We'll stick to 3% for this video. So let's say 3% inflation. So what you do with inflation, guys, is you just have to minus this right off your actual return on your investment. So that means you're sitting at 7% return, which would get your portfolio to $107,000 value. So that's real rate of return on your investment so far. So you're sitting, this is real, I'll write it in caps so we don't forget. This is your current value realistically, including inflation, including inflation. So now I'll get to the next factor. So right now, this 7% is unrealized gains because you didn't sell yet, right? Still sitting in your portfolio. What if the market went to shits tomorrow and it lost half of its value? Well, obviously you didn't get 7% return on your investment. So if you actually want to realize those gains and see that, regain that spending power, that money, you want to buy a car, buy a house, whatever you want to do with that money, right? So you're going to have to withdraw it. And when you withdraw, you're going to have to pay tax. Pretty much, I believe in every country in the world, you're going to have to pay tax. I believe one of few of the only countries like Australia, you don't have to pay capital gains tax on investments. But in my scenario, I live in Canada, we're going to have to pay tax on our rate of return. So this $10,000 is going to be subject to capital gains tax. In this scenario, we held it for longer than a year, so it's going to be long-term capital gains tax. So when you sell, say you were in a 20% tax bracket, 20% tax bracket right here, 20% tax bracket. For this given scenario, your tax on your investment return would be 5% because that's long-term capital gains. Long-term. I'm just going to write this. Okay. If you want to know more about long-term capital gains, I just want to get this out of the way. There's a video on the channel. Just want to go give that a quick watch. If you don't understand, then we can come back and just pick back right up where we left off. So this 5% is going to be on this $10,000 that you gained on your investment. So 5% of $10,000 is $500. So you're going to have to pay $500 on that thing for tax. Sorry. $500. It might not seem like a lot, but it'll add up over time. You can't always just forget about tax. So right here, guys, we're going to be sitting with no longer $110,000. We're going to be looking at $106,500. So as we started out, you said you got this, this initial 10%, right? Wow, I got 10% returns on my portfolio. I'm killing it. But you have to tie in other factors. I'm not trying to just sit here and be a pessimist, guys. You got to be realistic in your investment returns. You got to understand how to evaluate your decision making, how to evaluate your performance. So if you need to make certain changes, then you can do so. But we need to be realistic. So starting out, we said, wow, 10% return, pretty good. Then, you tie in inflation, you tie in your tax, This right here, guys, 6.5%. I'll just draw an arrow. It now became 6.5%. So this is your end. So initially, we started out with 10% return, after tying in, inflation and tax, we're left with 6.5%, guys. So it's not all fine and dandy, as soon as you sign into your portfolio, that's my rate of return, forget about it, you know what I mean? So I hope you took a lot of value from this video, because this could be really key in understanding how your actual performance is doing, how to gauge it against the market, guys, how to understand if, you need to tune your investment strategy, make some different changes. Got to be honest with yourself. That's where it starts, with yourself, because investing, if you're on your own like I am, and you're not just giving your money to like an advisor or an investment analyst and stuff like that, guys, you're going to need to understand how to actually get this rate of return. So I hope you took a lot of value from this video. I hope you can apply this example that we went over to your real life and understand in the future how you're actually doing in your investments. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day.